Hi everybody, Brandon Aldred here with the Design Chimp, and today I'm going to have a fairly quick text tutorial for you. I was recently in a sports store and I saw a Nike poster that it really caught my eye. I liked the effect that was on the text, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I would go and create it today. First I'm going to show you what the text looks like. So I think it was Nike Unleash Speed. And we'll go to images, and this was it right here. And you can see that it's kind of broke apart and there's like pieces coming off and all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and create that right now, and I'm gonna take you along with me. So first we're gonna go ahead and open up Illustrator. Usually when I do projects like this, I don't really look at the image that I'm trying to replicate the whole time, just because I don't want to ever copy it exactly, and it's better to work off your memory and try to get the elements that you remember and why you remember them to apply that later on in your designs. So let me just go ahead and create a new document and add some text. And I'm going to pick something kind of bold. I'll center this up. I'm just going to change the color. Okay, so first thing, now that you have the text, you're going to have to create outlines, which is going to make the text not editable, but it's the only way that you're going to be able to get this effect. I'm going to go ahead and just group portions of my text and kind of resize. Okay, so I have my text here, and now I want to make it look like that little starburst effect, or the zoom, or moving, some sort of action to it. And it's actually really simple. I'm going to go up here to my rectangular tool and click and hold down and go to my star tool. And I'm just going to click anywhere in the document. And now as far as these settings, I'm going to probably be tinkering with them a little bit. But I know that I want a lot of points, so I'm going to start off with 300. And you can see that it creates this star effect with this burst. And I actually do like that a lot. I'm going to kind of change it up a little bit. Make it green. Let's send it to the back. Now the reason I made it green, actually I'm going to probably make it orange. The reason I'm doing this is so it contrasts and I can kind of gauge where these starburst points are going to be going through the text and how much of it's going to be solid. Let me zoom out here. And I'm just resizing it to get it how I kind of want it. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so now the next step that I have, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control or Command C to copy this. And you can kind of see that it's going to cut off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters total. So I'm going to be pasting this 8 times, but I'm not going to do it all at once because it's going to create a lot of endpoints and slow down my machine and make Illustrator go crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and work with this first one. First I'm going to go ahead and bring this back to the front since it's where I want. And I'm going to go up here, I'm going to select the starburst portion. I'm going to hold shift while I select the text that's behind there. And as you can see, my text is all grouped, so I got to go back and ungroup it, so I'm dealing with just individual letters. Okay, and I got that one. Make sure that it was okay. So select on that little starburst deal, and then hold shift and select the letter underneath. And you actually want to keep these pieces the same, so you're going to have your Pathfinder tools. If you don't have that, you can go up here and go to window and just make sure that you have it selected. And I'm going to select this shape mode right here, which is going to keep the intersecting pieces of that design. So you can see that it kind of cut away the T. And since I've already copied that starburst deal, all I'm going to do is hit Control or Command F, and it pastes it in the same exact spot that it was before. And I'm just going to do this for all the letters that are being cut off. So we got the D. I'm going to hit Control or Command F, do it to the C. Same thing, just all the way around. Sometimes it gets hard to select. You can click and drag and select, or just zoom in like I just did. I'm still just going around and pasting that starburst and leaving the intersecting parts on the text. So now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and change this all back to the cyan. And to get the pieces that come out, it is really easy. You're going to grab your anchor point selection tool and just go in and select random points on the end. Now, when I'm dragging these out, I try to keep the guide and the line similar to where it was before, so I know that it's a straight, consistent line. And you can just go around and drag out these pieces to different lengths, like I'm doing right here. Okay, and you can see that that one has multiple anchor points in there. And what you can do is zoom in, and because it's on that curve, it's going to have different anchors. You can actually just delete one of them. I just went ahead and deleted the middle one, and then I can come out and drag however far I want to go with it. And then to connect it, I can just use my pen tool, select on the anchor point, and just close that path. And I can move it so I can make it more straight. We'll zoom out. And you can see that it happened again. So I'll just go ahead and, no, these are actually what I'm going to do is make them straight and drag this out. Okay, so now that I'm getting about done with this, I can zoom out and see what it looks like. Okay, and the Nike one actually had some of these little bursts that were actually not part of the text. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw some points. And to do this, I'm going to grab my pen tool and hit caps lock so I don't have the crosshair deal. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw a straight line by holding shift so it goes across, and then I'm going to do the same thing and click down a little bit and close my path. And I'm going to add this to some of the pieces that don't have the little bursts where it's cut, but I'm going to do them smaller because obviously it wouldn't be as big as the other ones that are all cut away. And I'm just going to kind of keep the angles what I think are close to the same. Okay, and then you probably remember the ones that were out here around to make it look like it was breaking away. So what I'm going to do is grab this little piece right here and copy it, and then just going to hit Control F and paste another one, and then I'm going to transform and reflect it. Oh. I can just do 180. Why is it? I'll just rotate it around. For some reason I can't figure that out. Maybe because it's late and this is kind of a random tutorial. I'm just going to zoom in and try to get these points to where they just line up pretty closely. And then I'm going to weld them together back here with the Unite in the Pathfinder tool. And then just go ahead and resize it and place them wherever you want. You can also, now that you have those drawn, you can grab your anchor point selection and edit this a little bit. So I can get rid of these extra endpoints where I didn't have it lined up perfectly. And I'm just going to try to get the angles close. I'm just going to keep copying and pasting that same piece and resizing it. So, I mean, as you can see, it's a pretty easy text effect to create. And if you wanted to, like these other pieces that we added, if you wanted to make them all solid, you can just drag and select your whole image and unite that as well. So all these are connected and welded into one piece. So then if you wanted to go in and do anything with gradients, like usually I will offset this path. I'll go offset path, and I'll actually do it on the inside of the text. So I'm going to go preview, but I'm going to go -5 points, and you can see that it'll go inside the text. And then I can do things like I can apply a gradient and go with that. I'll just do this darker blue. And that outline's pretty thick, so I'm going to change that. And then I'll go back and do this gradient, see what that looks like. And you see it didn't do it perfect just because these lines are so small. But if you were to put it in Photoshop or something like that, you can just use the selection tool and put a gradient in there, or just apply a gradient to this. Sometimes I just like to do the inside stroke for an added effect, but I can just go like this. And that soft gradient gives it a little bit more depth and feel. But there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to more tutorials I'll have here in the future. And always, there's more at thedesignchimp.com. Thanks, and have a great day.